Michael Winlo, Managing Director and CEO of Emyria. Michael, thanks for your time.
You're welcome, Dave. Thanks.
Emyria, what is it? What does it do? And why are you excited about it?
Yeah, so Emyria is a really unique business. We're a biotech company driven by the data that we gather from our own clinical operations. So what that means is we have frontline clinical practices, 7 locations now around Australia, where we employ our doctors, we treat patients with unmet needs, but we study what happens in those patients very closely, and so we can learn what treatments work best at home, and we can use those insights to support our own drug registration programs.
And what have been some of the highlights of the last 6 or 12 months?
Yeah, well, we've persevered through COVID and obviously had to develop our clinical model, but the growth and interest in our clinics has not waned. We've now treated more than 5,000 patients, and many of those patients are with us for a very long time. We just saw patient number 1 who's been with us more than 2 years a few weeks ago, so that's terrific. And you know, from this work, we've now managed to get sufficient data to develop our own drug development programs, and we've initiated a number of really terrific programs in the cannabinoid medicine space, where we have a unique view of which cannabinoid treatments work best for which patients. We've taken protection from an IP point of view on those insights. We've developed our own novel formulation using a synthetic cannabinoid as well, and we expect to advance those into clinical trials in the coming months, which has all been really exciting to see that.
And the growth of the sector, has it
Yes.
surprised you?
It surprised me maybe how slow it's gone. Actually, it's had its bumps and ups and downs. We think of ourselves a little bit distinct from typical medicinal cannabis companies. We don't grow the product. We don't touch the plant in any way. And in our clinics, our doctors are free to prescribe any product. And from that diversity of products and diversity of patients, we feel that gives us the best insights on what's really working best for which patients. And then we take those insights and develop our own treatments from that, which are intended for registration. So we sit very much more in a traditional pharmaceutical model in the sector, I guess you would say. But look, we are seeing the benefits that it is having on patients. I think the evidence is building. I think we will see a shift where this treatment won't be seen as a last resort. It will become more mainstream, but it will require pioneers like ourselves, I believe, to get the first drugs registered in order for that to happen.
And that's an important step, right?
Huge milestone, absolutely. I mean, 40% of drugs that are available at the pharmacist or by your doctor come from plants originally. But we don't brew tea to give ourselves aspirin, we don't chew mushrooms to get statins. We take a reliable dose form, a true pharmaceutical that's gone through the gauntlet of formal clinical trials and evaluations. And so we can't really avoid those steps. And so I think the more the industry is shifting towards that, recognising the power of registration, not only in demonstrating where these treatments work best, but in unlocking access to patients and reimbursement also, I think, is also on the other side of successful registration. So we're inching ever forward, and I think we'll be there soon. And I think our data from our clinics helps accelerate the programs, at least from our point of view.
And where to from here? What's the next 6, 12, 18 months look like for Emyria?
So we're going to activate our clinical network, our data capture infrastructure as well, to take on new treatment classes for major unmet needs. More than 15% of our patients come with primary mental health disorders. And so there's a growing interest in working with our infrastructure to figure out where does psychedelic assisted therapies work. There's a lot of interest in this space right now. These are very challenging treatments to give. You need to have trained therapists, appropriately fitted out clinics, and you also need to get really good evidence to make sure you're using these treatments appropriately. And so we're really well set up to do that. We've had first-hand experience doing that in medicinal cannabis. And now our big opportunity, we believe, is to try and apply that same approach to figure out where these treatments work best. And so we've got 2 programs running in this space. We've got a standard clinical trial, which we're gearing up for, looking at the MDMA-assisted psychotherapy for post-traumatic stress disorder. And we also have our own bespoke drug development program looking at MDMA analogues, because there's actually some interest to see whether we can change the MDMA molecule slightly, elicit different kinds of effects, which may make those compounds potential treatments for other neurological or psychiatric conditions as well.
Well established in Australia, where's the opportunity globally?
Absolutely. Australian patients look like American patients, look like European patients. The big markets are those overseas populations, and And so we're making sure that everything we do here sets us up for registration and success in those markets as well. We're going to be building out our advisory in the US front, initiating some programs for the FDA, and you can look forward to that in the next 12 months. So absolutely, we're going to learn in Australia. That's where we're caring for our patients now, but take those learnings to support successful registration in those big global markets.
Foundation built,
Yes.
network in place,
Yes.
focus on patient and outcomes, and a clear path forward. It's an exciting time ahead for Emyria and its shareholders. Michael, thanks for your time.
Thank you, David.